Good evening, Internet, and welcome to Top Shift number 33. Today, I'm going to make a rare run. For those of you who were listening to Lave radio a couple of days ago, you'll have noticed that I made all the way into the old system to Lave just to rendezvous with the other members of the Lave radio crew. However, my other two ships are up by Alioth, and I thought, right, I'm going to make a rare run on the way back, just to show everybody how to take advantage of them. Now, I'm taking a bit of a risk here, because I'm in a stock Sidewinder, which I'm going to show on screen here. The only way you can see the custom skin that I bought on this one is by going into the outfitting screen. Dun, dun, dun. There we are. So, nice and blue. Like that. That's my pirated Sidewinder. Although, to tell you the truth, I'm not a pirate. Now, the problem that I've got is I think I've gone a little mad on upgrading this Sidewinder. You can see that I've spent about $500,000 on just giving it a little load of nice stuff. Now, the main problem is I've now got to get back to Alioth. Well, better make sure we fuel up. There we go. So, if we have a look about, we'll see I've now picked up 4 tons of a rare commodity called Lavian Brandy. Now, the trick about rare trading is you've got to take them as far away as possible from their originating system. There, the demand for these rare items just goes off through the scale. Now, each ton of Lavian Brandy here was bought for about just 3,500 credits. And I'm up at maximum, so I'm not going to be buying any more. But if I manage to find the right system, hopefully I will have about 7,000, 8,000 credits profit. It's a very good way to try and start out if you're trying to get away from the Sidewinder as quickly as possible. The downside is, I'm in Lave, I'm in open play, and right at the moment, Lave in open play is Griefer Central. So hopefully with a bit of luck I'll be able to get out of the system without any trouble. And looking about, we can see, oh, hang on, we've got some new news. Federation withdrawals from Panem. Ooh, what's this? The deployment of federal aid to the beleaguered farmers of Panem. And they're recalling all federal forces from Kappa Fornacis. Well, that's what they're saying, that the Federation are withdrawing from the onion farmers. But, ooh. There's a nice little bit of double dealing going on the behalf of the Federation. I do apologise, by the way, if I sound a little more odd than usual. I've got a rather heavy head cold at the moment, so I might sound a little snotty. So, where do we want to go? Well, that's the fun bit. Now, at this moment in time, 1.1 is going through beta. Now, I haven't been to beta yet. I'm going to head there not long after I've recorded this. What the beta is, excuse me, is a test server, pretty much like what you have in other MMO games, and it's got some special facilities so that will allow people to test out a lot of the new functionality. Now, one of the new bits of functionality is the new galaxy map, or the route planner on the galaxy map, because in 1.0, if I type in the name of the system I want, in this case Alioth, so there you go, that is 144 light years away. However, my system is there. 145. That's where one of my ships is. Oh no, my ship's at Mizar. You can see there with a little ship icon. Now that ship there is the Type 6, while my Cobra is at HEB0. HEB0 is becoming one of my favourite systems, mostly because it's a good place to run missions for when you go to try and get access to Alioth, which I still haven't done yet. Now in 1.1 I would be able to plan a route straight there. However, that doesn't seem to be the case. So what I've got to do is you look around until you find your location, which you can see there, and then you kind of select a planet that's about halfway. Oh, hello. There. And you keep on checking until the route becomes available. There's a coal sack there. You can see it, coal sack is 45 light years away. So we can do that. Unfortunately, it does seem that if it's got a dotted line, I don't think I can make the jump. Which is a bit of a pain. So what's about economical routes? Can't make it to that one. Could make it to Barn, I suppose. Let's have a look. Yep, well that's a start. So we'll plot the route there, and we'll take it from there. Now my Sidewinder's got a jump range of 15 light years, which is quite good for your good old Sidey. So, but we'll have to get past the difficult bit first, and I hope that we'll be alright. Now I've got double beam lasers on this, gimbaled. That'll be quite good against other Sidewinders, Eagles, maybe a Cobra. Anything larger than that, like even a Viper, I am toast. So, fingers crossed. Oh my word, look at the amount of cargo canisters flying about here. That is an awful lot of dumbfire missiles. That says to me there might be someone hanging around outside with dumbfire missiles. Right. Here goes nothing. Right. Make a quick run for it. I don't see it. Oh, there's someone there in a Type 6. Believe the amount of dumbfire missiles that are flying about here. Oh, there's someone in a Cobra 3. Right, I'm safe. Let's get out of here before it gets silly. Nothing incoming yet. But the thing is, there might be someone there who's in stealth mode, powered down. You just don't know. Still waiting on hyperspace to kick in. Ah, there we are. We're in hyperspace. Interlisti. Like I said, all the old worlds seem to be suffering from griefers, and you do get a little wary of other ships just hanging around.
Fuel scooping complete.
Right. Fuel scooping may be complete, so let's get out of here before someone decides to tag me.
Fuel scoop disengaged.
What you have to worry about is people coming up behind you. Right, that should do. Let's get out of here.
Frameshift drive charging.
An awful lot of players in the area. Ooh, lots of players in the area. And even if you're in the last 5 seconds of countdown, you can still get interdicted. All depends on whether or not you can get out before the red line goes over the interdiction indicator before your 5-second countdown comes in. And again, there's somebody here. So, well, he seems to be quite far away, so that should be alright.
Fuel scooping complete.
Right, where are we off to now? Oh, straight ahead. That'll be good. Or is it?
Fuel scoop disengaged.
I think we're here. Nope. That's where we want to go. The landlight, yes. Where we go.
Frameshift drive charging.
I think I managed to escape everybody's notice, which is quite good. But one of the griefer tricks is you'll see on those dumbfire missiles, people just emerge from the station and they're just hammered by dumbfire salvos as they launch. And there's not much you can do about it, especially if the ship is hidden and quite close. One thing that Frontier have been doing in 1.1 is playtesting, and one of the things that is being griefed, playtested balanced,
Fuel scooping.
is the fact those dumbfires are too powerful. So that's being resolved. Right, get on with some fuel scooping here.
Fuel scooping complete.
Okay, jump away.
Frameshift drive charging.
Oh, no, we don't want to do that. You see the heat
Fuel scoop
went up
disengaged.
quite a lot. You see the steam rising off the console there. I think we'll just let little side E calm down for a second and try again.
Frameshift drive charging. Fuel scooping. Fuel scooping complete.
Okay, let's go to the nav beacon here for a second while I decide what I'm going to do next. Because the last thing I want at the moment is an interdiction, and you're less likely to be attacked
Fuel scoop
at the nav beacon.
disengaged.
Believe it or not. No, by luck, that's exactly what will happen. And if I could take out a bounty or so when I'm down there, I think I will. Anything to try and claw back the credits that I put in. He's a bit close. What is he? Type 6. And these ships just flying about you. Don't they know how close they are in the Super Cruise? That would definitely be categorised as a near miss in astronomical terms. Right, slow it down. To the galaxy map. Right. Oh, still got a bit of a way to go according to this. To Uxiri and then Baran. And I suppose after Baran we'll have to set course for Alioth. In the meantime, let's have a quick look around here. So he's clean. Oh, an asp. Mind you, I am in a Sidewinder. And it's not really a good idea to try and take on an asp with a Sidewinder. Oh, there we are. Someone in the far distance. Mind you, I didn't upgrade the scanners on this thing, which might have been handier. Oh, another asp. You can see there that the beam lasers, although tracking, do seem to have a little bit of a problem locking on. Anyway, let's put them away. Nothing to see here. Let's get a move on.
Frameshift drive charging.
2,000 credit bounty owed to me by the Empire. I don't think I'm ever going to collect that one.
2. Fuel scooping.
Doing a lot of fuel scooping here at the moment. I mean, the fuel scoop on this one is actually rated quite high, so that's why it's scooping out so much.
Fuel scooping complete. Frameshift drive
Oh,
charging.
still above 100%. Should never charge your frame shift when your heat is above 95%. However, you might need to do it in an emergency.
Frameshift drive charging. Four, three, two, one. Engage.
Do seem to be coming across some very nice stars around here at the moment.
Fuel scooping.
We'll stop off at this nav beacon. Unless we've got somewhere else to go. There we go. Oh, look at there. I saw
Fuel scoop disengaged.
needs a permit. I wonder why. Okay. Galaxy map. Oh, right. We're at Barad. Now, we have managed to get, navigation-wise, so we've managed to get 31 light years away, which isn't too bad. Ooh. We've only got 114 light years to go. Oh, good grief. So, 82 light years? No, that's still too far. Dark system, that. That looks good enough. Can we plot a route? No, but we can't get to... We can't get there, so we'll plot that route. says unavailable now. This is one of the problems that you have trying to plan these things out, is because basically okay, let's see what happens. Ross 48467. It's pretty close to our maximum range. See, I did make the run to Lave Station with with 4 tons on it, so it should be possible to get back. It just does seem to be having trouble plotting the route back. Now, as I said already, the 1.1, which is in beta, that should be able to handle this kind of trip. Almost into the sun there.
Fuel scooping.
Okay. Well, you can see the corona there and the solar flares. That looks really cool. Look up, you can see them bubbling away.
Fuel scoop disengaged.
Right. Heat's down, so let's
Frameshift drive
jump
charging.
again. I think we'll stop at the next when we run out of this route and then evaluate, because I think we'll be about halfway.
4, 3, 2, 1.
We definitely need to refuel here.
Fuel scooping.
LHS 2663 is our next stop, so the real trick is to keep the heat about 95%. Maximise the amount of fuel you can scoop. So we've got more than about 3/4 of a tank there. Once this jump's complete, we'll have about half a tank. So,
Frameshift drive charging.
and one thing you should see here is you'll notice that the smaller fuel bar above the main fuel tank, that's almost used up. And what will happen is that that tank, which is used for Super Cruise for general thrusters, that tank will be refueled from the main tank. So if you're not careful, you could end up in serious fuel economy mode. Right.
Fuel scooping.
Right, I think we're over an unknown system. Oh, that might not have been a good plan then. Anything in the system? Pretty much no. Oh, heck. Let's keep away from the sun.
Fuel scoop disengaged.
Right, pull back Super Cruise and let's see where we can go to next. Right. "82 light years." We're definitely more than halfway. But we can get to Gateway, I think. Right. Okay. Let's see if we can get to Gateway.
Friendship drive charging.
Pretty quiet out here though. You'll see the number of player ships absolutely disappear.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Right, fuel up again.
Fuel scooping. Fuel scoop
I don't want it to disengage, I want it to fuel up.
Fuel scooping.
There we go. That should give us enough fuel for a decent jump. And quite a few ships coming close to the 6. That's what you have to worry about, because that's when the pirates will attack. They'll always want to interdict you from behind. So if you see a little blip coming close behind you, take some evasive action.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Slightly darker sun there.
Fuel scooping.
LP 437-12. Now some of these stars, especially stuff like the white dwarfs, you can fuel scoop from them. The problem is, in order to get where the fuel is, you have to get a lot closer. And the heat burns you up
Complete.
before you can decently get to the fuel.
Disengaged. Friendship drive charging.
Right.
Fuel scooping.
This is very rinse and repeat at the moment. Now the one thing that I would always recommend to everybody who's playing this game is don't do too much of the same thing over and over and over again.
Fuel scooping complete.
Because otherwise it gets very monotonous if you do the same thing again and again. So if you constantly do trade runs, you're going to get bored of trade runs. If you constantly go bounty hunting or war zones, you're going to get bored of them.
Fuel scooping complete.
Variety in this game is a spice of life, so you've got to do
Drive charging.
a little bit of everything. And that's one of the reasons why you've got multiple ships. You might want to have a Cobra, which is full, kitted out for mining, if you want to have a go at that.
Friendship drive charging.
Right.
4, 3, 2, 1.
away from Gateway. And when we get to Gateway, I'm going to just relax, take it easy and dock, just to make sure that the ship's okay, because when you've been doing jumps like this, that's when the wear and tear starts to kick in. Now that's a mechanic that's been added to make exploring a little bit more of a challenge. Yet to do it myself, but it's one of the things I'm looking forward to doing. I mean, there are 400 billion other systems out there. There's going to be a few more I can put my name on. Because that's one of the things that they're adding in 1.1. If you completely discover a system, catalogue it completely, you are tagged as discovering that system. So there's a nice little bit of in-game lore that influenced. Alright. System map. Well, seems to be quite a lot here at Gateway. Democracy, Alliance. Wow, quite a lot of Gateway. So let's go there. Dublin Citadel, that sounds quite cool. Now that is one thing that I do hope they put in 1.1, the ability to select a station from the local system map. I'll have to put that into the DDF. So what's the state of play happening in Elite Dangerous at the moment? Well, 1.1 is going through the beta system at the moment, and we expect that to be hitting the live systems probably in about 2 weeks' time. It does have a lot of major improvements, in my opinion, and a lot of gameplay changes. One of the most major ones is a change to the ship, the Python. Now, that's one of the things that surprised me when I did see the Python in action, is that this massive ship did seem to be able to maneuver like a Cobra and have the firepower of an Anaconda, which did seem very, very out of character for what I remember of the old games. And it seems that Frontier have kind of agreed. They've made the shields weaker and made the thing slower and a bit more difficult to maneuver. But you can gather that people who have got used to flying the Python as it is, they're a little bit upset that this lovely ship that they thought they had is going to be nerfed. Personally, I'm on Frontier on this one because it was a case where, in my experience, in the old games, a Cobra, a Viper, any of the smaller fighters could outrun a Python and get away from it. While in the new version, the Python could outmaneuver and capture a Sidewinder, which that just didn't feel right. Not when you take into account the old games. Now, we're going to have to look at what other play balances are coming in. In other things that have started are community events. Now, this is a little bit controversial, because a lot of people are saying, well, what's the point? It's just take cargo to this particular place, and the person who's able to take the most cargo to this particular place, whether this place is building a capital ship or a space station, they'll get to name one of the two items. I think personally I'm quite happy with that. It goes to show that the community engine should work. It's just, I think, to start off with, it doesn't feel that imaginative. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm glad they're doing it. Well, this space station, this citadel looks absolutely massive. Look at that. Got two habitable rings and masses of cargo canisters. This looks like very much like Babylon 5. I suppose that's the point, really. Okay, Dublin Citadel, give me docking permission, please.
Docking request granted.
But no, I'll be joining in with the community events as soon as I can get myself into gear and find out where they're all taking place. Ooh, look at this. This is a... Oof, that was a bit close, Mr. Viper. Right, where's 6? There we are.
Landing gear deployed.
Starcom would like to remind all pilots to avoid blocking access to docking pads.
Docking successful. Engines disengaged.
Right. This is just a quick fuel and go, so... Okay, you can see that the fuel costs in a Sidewinder are minuscule compared to a Cobra. Same amount in the Cobra, that would be about 600, 700 credits. Now, go to repairs, you will see that the ship integrity is now at 99%. Now, as that falls, you'll find that the ship doesn't perform as well. So every now and again you've got to upgrade it. And to tell you the truth, that ship integrity thing is surprisingly subtle. You don't start to notice fall off of performance until it drops to about 80%, but then it seems to drop off exponentially. What we'll also do, we'll just clean up my paintwork. Now, I wonder how our Lavian Brandy is doing. So if we come down here to legal drugs, here we are. If we sell it here, we're just going to be able to sell it for 14,000, almost 15,000 credits. That can't be too bad, can it? But we don't want to sell it here. Where we really want to be is up at Alioth. So back to where my ships are. Oh, not that far away, 30 light years. So what I want to do is I'm going to head to Mizar. "29 light years away, and become a Type 6. So we should be all ready to go. The other thing that I hope that they've fixed in 1.1 is the comms.
Ship released. Engines engaged.
Now the thing about all this is that I haven't had a problem
Landing gear retracted.
communicating with any commander as long as we're in the system. Now, if I go look up here, you'll see that I've got a couple of friends who are out of system. And for the beginning of the gamma phase, it did seem to work that I could text them and say hello and things like that when they're out of system. It doesn't seem to work at the moment, and I'm hoping that they fix that for 1.1, because without that little extra bit of communication, it does feel lonely out here sometimes. Damn right, no crimes detected. Still mass locked. It just goes to show how massive that station is. I've got to remember Gateway, that looked like a fun system to explore. Ah, there we go. And the Alliance. I think I'm going to come down on the side of the Alliance, mostly because they're the underdog, and partly because they're supposed to be white hats, which is supposed to be the nearest that Elite ever has to good guys. But then again, we're supposed to get multiple commanders at some point, so that means I could have one Imperial, one Federal, one Alliance person, if I wanted to. Don't know how many commanders they're going to give us. how many more systems have we got to go yet? Surely only 1 or 2.
Fuel scooping.
Huh. We're almost there. Just 1. Excellent.
Fuel scoop disengaged.
Look down here. There we are, Mizar. I'm going the wrong way. I was going to use up half my tank to get there.
Frameshift drive charging.
We're already doing 4 times the speed of light. But that's taken me, what, 45 minutes to get to Mizar? Not bad for 144 light years, what do you think? However, the last bit here is that I do know that the Mizar system, the actual place where I want to go, the high-tech system, that's, I think, 100,000 light years out. Oh no, 150,000 light years out. There you are, Judson Station. So, better take on a bit of extra fuel here so that we don't run out on the approach. And this is where the real trick is, because I'm getting too close to that sun. Now, if it was a normal sun, that wouldn't be a problem, but this one here is a little bit hotter. There we go. Right. Okay. Let's settle in for a bit of a long haul to Judson Station.
Fuel scooping complete. Fuel scoop disengaged.
Right. Don't worry, I'm not going to be here for 10 hours. It doesn't take that long to get to Judson Station. But it is a bit of a haul. Well, other things that have been happening in the Elite community, well, let's see. Drew Wagar and Fantastic Books have just released the audiobook of Elite Reclamation. Now, that was one of the first books that I read out of the Fantastic Books stable, and I must admit I was quite impressed with Drew's work. But the audiobook is something else. Now, one of the things that I have been constantly impressed with this is the enhanced audiobooks that my friend on Lave Radio, Chris Jarvis, puts into the effort he puts into these things. And he's done it again with the Reclamation. It's one of these things that I'm going to get in order. I've listened to a lot of the sample chapters that have been put up, and the fact that he's able to take the soundscape and put it in, it just adds so much more to the experience of listening to the book. So I would, if you've got a spare 15 or so quid, then I would thoroughly recommend it. At the moment I'm trying to choose about going to Elite Meet, which is a fan created convention at the end of March, or buying this book. I think this time I'll go for Elite Meet and buy the book, buy the audiobook, I think, next month after payday. But this is a thing, decisions. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to get the Google Cardboard working. The Open Tracker just doesn't seem to be picked up by Elite Dangerous, and I must admit, I think I've reached the end of my tether with it. I'll probably try and give it one more try, ask around on the forums a little bit more, see if anybody else can help, but no, I'll just have to wait. But like I said, I've only spent money on the cardboard. I haven't actually spent a lot more. It's not like buying an Oculus Rift and suddenly finding it that's not working. The Oculus Rift, however, it seems to be going from strength to strength, and I think if it comes out by Christmas, I'll be definitely getting one. In unrelated, well, kind of loosely related news, I've got to say goodbye to one of my favourite websites. Now, massively.com was a website which handled all MMOs, and I used to follow it even when the Matrix Online, one of my first ever MMOs, was about. And it's such a shame because it was a really, really good site. It didn't seem to go with all the hyperbole or get involved with the Gamergate or all that kind of stuff. And 90% of the time, I could agree with the opinions of the writers. And it just seems that such a shame that somewhere which actually has some integrity is shut down, because from what I understand they were making money but they weren't making enough, and AOL decided to pull the plug on the whole of the joystick brand, which included Massively. So it's a shame to see them go. I hope that the writers or the admin team they have something new. But it was a shame because it was somewhere where I could go and get additional Elite Dangerous views with, and although there were a lot of detractors there, the conversations were at least moderated, so that there's a few people that kind of put in a proper balanced debate. So farewell, Massively, you will be missed, and I hope that the writers and the other support staff all get decent jobs soon. And we've still got almost 100,000 light years to go. Or light seconds to go. God, if it's 100,000 light years, ow! We'll be the other side of the galaxy by now. Oh, we're only doing 512 times the speed of light. What's that in Star Trek speed? Now, there's this little trick that everybody has now been calling the 6-second rule, which is why I think I went over it sort of like top shift number 2 or 3, where you've got the counter just underneath the light second distance indicator. If you look at the Judson station there, you see the light second counter go down, but you can also see the time till target. Now, when you're going faster than the speed of light, time till target becomes a rather meaningless figure, because that's how long it would take if you were travelling at this particular speed, but you've got to slow down, so it doesn't really work. But what the community have discovered is something similar to what I have, is that if you get to that time on target till about 6 seconds and pull back your accelerator to either halfway or just under halfway the blue sweet spot, then basically you will just glide in, and as long as you're not interdicted, then you should have a smooth approach. No need to go massively evasive or turn on yourself. I use the old thing of it was 10 times the speed that you were going at. So if I was doing 500 times the speed of light, I would pull back at 5,000 light seconds. And it turns out to be about the same thing, so when I do perform this, as long as I concentrate, because normally when I'm gassing like this I miss my deceleration point. Now, I was tempted to actually do a top shift from the 1.1 beta. However, I decided against it because it's not there yet. There's still testing, there's still play testing, and I'd rather actually show off the final results. Well, and this is just to show you the actual system itself. So you can see these have got massive amounts of suns. I don't even know what's there. But here we have a Class 3 gas giant, Class 2, and the system goes on and on. But the only place where you'll be able to get somewhere is at Judson Station. One station in the entire place. So 17,000 to go. And if we look ahead, I can see an ASP, Commander Arc Raider. And I hate to say it, but he's got his interdictor out. You can tell that because he's got a triangle. Now, if he didn't have his interdictor out, that does sound rather rude. Then it would be a square. But I'm going to have to be aware of this. Because I'm 6,000 light seconds away and he is 2,000 light seconds away. If he tries to pull around onto the back of me, he could quite easily pull me out. And after all this effort of getting my Lavian Brandy, if actually he's slowing down, I'm going to have to be very careful here. Now, do I want to slow down and let him go first? I mean, I know he's still 800 light seconds away. I'll be slowing down in just a second anyway. Just see what happens. Ooh, it's beginning to feel a little tense, because you just don't know what another player is going to do. Right, there we go. Let's pull it back. You can see the time on target is about 10 seconds. Now he's 140 behind me. I'm now expecting to get interdicted. Oh, he's getting in closer as well. Yeah, it could be nice. It just could be nice. Could be a nice person. Let's see. I've seen you. I'm saying hello. He's not doing anything, he's just hanging back there. Sir was? What does Sir was mean? Is that something foreign? Going to get told off? Have I breached some etiquette there, perhaps? Well, I think he's not going to interdict me. I hope he's not anyway. We've only got... There we go. Rather relieved to see this station. And if you look on my fuel gauge, you can see the thin line above the thicker line is halfway down. So that means I managed to pull off about 150,000 light seconds for a half tank. Which, yeah, that's good for fuel economy, I suppose.
Docking request granted. Scan detected.
I'm just bringing in some brandy, you don't need to worry. There we go. It'd be embarrassing if I crashed now, wouldn't it?
Landing gear deployed.
So, well, that was rather tense, that tiny bit. Well, another thing in 1.1 is those disappearing landing pad numbers gets rid of.
Docking successful. Engines disengaged.
Right. Let's see how we've done. Refuel. Repair. Go to the commodities market. And down here under legal drugs, we have Lavian Brandy. And would you look at that, 19,000 credits a ton. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wow. That's made my day. Right. Now what am I going to do with this poor little Sidewinder? Because my stored ship is my Type 6 here. You can see a Type 6. I do like doing that. It's spinning the ship around. I think what I'll do... God, that took a while. I think we could get rid of the... Yeah, I'm going to get rid of the beam lasers. I don't think burst lasers would be better. Is there anything else I could do without? Let's have a look. B-rated reactor, C-rated thrusters, frame shift drive A, so it means that's the best frame shift you can fit on this thing. High support power distributor, again, best A. Fuel tank, I think at the moment what we'll do is we'll leave this little fighter here, because you never know when it might be nice. All I've got is a Skull 3 decal. Although I must admit, I think I prefer it without it. So, yeah, I will keep hold of that little Sidewinder, and then go back to the Type 6 and grind up a little bit more, so that I can. I could sell this stored ship. Don't think so. And here we are, back in the Type 6, ready to do a lot of trading. And I think for the moment, I will leave it here. Thank you for joining me on this run. I will see you all next time. Good night.